निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शङ्खं चक्रम् उपर्यधश्च करयो दिव्यौषधं दक्षिणे वामेनान्यकरेण संवृतसुधाकुम्भं जलोकावलिम् विप्राणकरुणाकर सुखकर सर्वामय त्वं सखा सर्वमे दुरितं सिनतु भगवन् धन्वन्तरिं सन्दतम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामवीरमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Thank you, madam. We request Dr. Pathasadi sir to start the section.
Guruneshabhyam Namaha. Namaste. So, very happy to continue the session, going to the second day of discussion. Let us begin with our pranams to the Apurva Vaidya. Ragadi rogan sadatano shakta nasheshakaya prasrada nasheshan autsukya moha ratidan jaghana yo Vaidhyaya Nasmi. So I believe everyone are warmed up with yesterday's discussion. We are directly going into the Hemanta yesterday. We had just started Hemanta Ritu. So today we'll continue with Hemanta Ritu. Ritu by Ritu we'll be going actually as explained yesterday. And hopefully today we'll be covering Hemanta, Shishira and Grishma. We will be having a discussion until 12:15, and from 12:15 onwards we'll be having some time for question and answers and doubt clarifications. So I'm just opening my chat box. Yeah. I'm switching off my video for a better bandwidth and a better hearing experience. And just in case, as I had mentioned to the panelists, just in case if my internet is troublesome, if someone gives me a message in the chat box, I will switch over an internet connection. And apologies for the inconvenience in advance, because we live in a hilly area in the valley, so internet is not that great. So just we'll go direct into the topic. Shall we start? Everyone are ready? Are you ready with your books and some notepad and pens to make some notes? If you are ready with the textbooks, write textbook in the comment box. Okay, good, great. Just few of you are with textbooks, but no issues. Even if you are not without textbooks, it's okay. But if you are with the textbooks, it will be nice. So going into Hemanta Ritu, yesterday we were seeing this Balinha Shila Samrodat Hemante Nalaha Bhavatyalpendranodhatu Sachet Vayu Neritaha Ato Hismeta Swadamla Lavanan Rasan. We have completed all of this. Going to the commentary of yesterday's discussion is made more clear. Yato hemante analaha prabalo bhavati. This is, as I told you, I'll be going into the commentaries of Ayurveda Rasayana by Hemadri. Hemadri's commentaries goes like this. Hemante analaha prabalo bhavati. We have discussed in Hemanta Ritu, analaha, Agni is prabala, is uttama. Sa cha alpendanaha san dhatun pachet. In case if the indana, if the fuel to the Agni is alpa, then dhatu paka happens. So a self-destruction of dhatus might happen. Dhatu paka is a condition where people, practitioners can understand dhatu paka, which can be related to the dhatu paka that is happening in even in our prameha. So dhatu paka happens if we are not giving proper indana, meaning that we by that what we mean is that our food should be proper in this season. Ato madhuradin seveta. So because of that, what should we do? We should have madhuradi ahara. It is not just madhura, it is madhuradi ahara. That is swadu amla lavanan rasan. Swadu amla lavana. This swadu amla lavana, from swadu amla lavana, we get a lot of logic and reasoning from the commentary. Hemadri has given a beautiful explanation for the swadu amla lavana. So the swadu amla lavana is something that we have to focus. And bhavatyalpendano dhatun sapachet vayu neritaha, vayuna eritaha. So because of the vayu, this dhatu happens is what we understand with this word. So what is this vayu which does this dhatu? What is this vayu which is activating the process of dhatu paka when the indana is low? I'm rephrasing it. When the indana, or when the food is not proper, the food is not sufficient enough, there can be dhatu paka, self-destruction, because of the vayu, because of the instigation of vayu. So what is this vayu? Where is this vayu coming from? Is it just the samana vayu? Can anyone write in the comment section what is this vayu Acharya is talking about? Is question clear? Anyone in the comment section? Okay, voice is lagging. Am I audible now? Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I've switched over to a different internet connection. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. If there is any difficulty happening in this connection, I have another internet connection. So good. I hope this goes without interruption. Wish and pray that it goes without interruption. Great. So one person, I think it was Pavitra, Dr. Pavitra, was mentioned Samana Vayu. Is it just Samana Vayu? It is not just Samana. Vyana, not just Vyana. Where is this Vyana and Samana coming from? What is the background of the Samana and Vyana to get into this picture of Dhatupaka? That is the question. How does this get its role or duty to disturb the process and cause Dhatupaka? Where is this Vayu coming from is the question. And we will see that is being beautifully explained by Acharya here. Ato himesmin seveta swadvamada lavanan rasan. So the conclusion is we have clearly understood. I'm just summing it up because we are just warming up. I don't want to rush through when we are warming up. So Balina Shita Samrodhat Hemante Prabalo Nalaha, we have clearly understood that the Agni is Prabala, the Agni is Uttama, and we have to give proper food and proper feed to the Agni. If we are not feeding properly, then Dhatupaka might happen with the instigation of Vayu. So, Ato Himesmin Seveta. So, in Hemanta Ritu, one has to eat Swadu Amla Lavanan Rasan, Madhura Amla Lavana Rasa. Here comes a small clash in the logic. Not clash in the logic, some confusing theories. Swadu Amla Lavana. We have studied in our previous chapters that Madhura, Amla and Lavana are Guru. That is Tatradhya Marutam Gnanti Trayastiktadaya Kapam. That is Tatradhya, the first three are Marutam Gnanti, decreases Vata dosha, increases Kapha dosha, increases Kapha dosha because of the Gurutvam it has. Okay, one way it has to be, it is clear, it is understandable. But Swadu is very clearly understandable. When the Agni is good, Madhura Rasa is going to feed the Agni properly. Madhura Rasa is a very good fuel for this increased Agni. But Amla Rasa and Lavana Rasa are Ushna. Amla Rasa and Lavana Rasa being Ushna, it can have a negative impact on the Agni. Do you agree with me? Amla Rasa and Lavana Rasa can have a kind of a contradictory impact with the Agni, which is already Tivra. Do you agree with me? Does anyone agree or disagree with me here? Anyone? Agree. Okay. Some should disagree so that the discussion can go. Okay. Every one of you agree. Okay. So going to the commentaries. How is this? Yesterday I was telling you the Roma Kupas are blocked. See how the commentary has explained this. Ato Madhura Adin Seveta Prabalye Hetumahaha Shita Samrodat Roma Kupan Avrinvata. Shita Samrodat, because of the Shita outside, because of the cold environment outside, the Roma Kupas are Avrinvata. Roma Kupas are blocked. So the Agni is not dissipated outside. That Agni goes, the heat of the body is not dissipated outside. This heat of the body activates our Agni, and hence our Agni is at its peak. We have understood that clearly. The next part of the commentary where I wish to focus is amla lavanaucha snigdoshna viryam so I'm sorry, amla lavanaucha snigdoshna viryat sheetasya tajjanita vayoscha viparitau. This is a very important thing which we have to see clearly. Amla lavanaucha. We have understood Madhura. Madhura is a proper fuel for the increased Agni. But Amla lavanaucha, this Amla and Lavana are snigdoshna viryat. Because of the snigdha and ushna virya, sheetasya tajjanita vayoscha viparitau. The Shita, it is contradictory to the Shita, this Amla Lavana, which is basically Snigdha and Ushna. It is compensating the Shita and Tajjanita Vayoho Viparitau. And because of the Shita, there is a small disturbance of Vayu or Vata dosha. And this Lavana and Amla Rasa are taking care of that. So the conclusion here is, the take-home information here is, in Hemant Ritu, there is a very mild disturbance of Vata, or Vata is prone to be disturbed. It is not yet Chaya, but even before Chaya, there is a tendency for disturbance. There is a mild disturbance which has not even manifested as a Chaya. So this Lavana and Amla Rasa is helping to manage that mild disturbance of Vata that is happening in this season, and hence Acharyas have mentioned Amla, Lavana and Madhura Rasa. Madhura Rasa being predominant, and the predominance is always Madhura Rasa. We are going to see that. I hope this is clear. We are all warmed up, I believe, by this time. Let us go a little more faster and a little more intensive into the topic. Dairyan nishanam etarhi pratareva bubukshitaha. Dairyan nishanam etarhi. Because of the longer nights, we have to understand that in winters, the nights are longer. In summers, the nights are shorter. I believe that everyone should be knowing this. If you are not knowing this, go and do some research in YouTube and things like that. You will understand the reasoning. Why? It's a very simple phenomena that is happening. Nights are longer during winters. So because of the longer nights, what is happening is you get up in the morning with very good hunger. Pratareva bubukshitam. Early in the morning, you are hungry because you have spent a long time sleeping. You get up in the morning, you're hungry. So you're hungry. Is it okay to just go in and have some breakfast or some snack or some fruit in the morning? Definitely not. That is not an ideal thing to do, because Acharyas are explaining, the further shlokas goes like this. Avashya karyam sambhavya yatoktam shilayedanu. Anushilanam. What is Anushilanam? For follow regularly. So avashya karyam sambhavya. Avashya karyam. What are the avashya karyam? Kim avashya karyam bhadayito. What are the avashya karyam? In commentary, Hemadri mentions यदोक्तम अवश्य कार्यम शौचादिकम. अवश्य कार्यम संभाव्य यथोक्तम यथोक्तम. That is whatever that I have explained. Acharya is telling exactly dinacharya. In dinacharya, whatever I have told, you have to follow those avashya karya, and commentary mentions those avashya karyas are shauchadikam. We have to do the shauchadika kramas, that is Malashuddhi or Deha Shuddhi, whatever it is, Snana, Malavisarjanam, all that, Dantadavanam, all that Avashakaryam Sambhavya, Yadoktam Shilayedanu, Vadagna Tailerabhyangam, Murdhni Tailam Vimardanam. In some verses, some versions, you will be seeing Murdha Tailam Vimardanam. so sorry. Is it audible now? Yes? Yes, okay. So I was talking about Murdhatailam. Murdhatailam is application of oil on the head. It can even be Shirobhyanga. I'm extremely sorry. I hope it continues without any break now from now on. And Pidana, that is Vimardhanam, Murdhatailam, Vimardhanam. What is Vimardhanam? Acharya explains, Karabhyam Pidanam. Using both the hands, we do Pidanam, squeezing type of or pressure, exerting pressure on the extremities or the body of a person. That is Vimardhanam. Doing Vimardhanam has been explained. We will now, after finishing this, we will be seeing the logic, reasoning, etc. for these explanations. नियुद्धं कुशलैः सार्धं पादाघातं च युक्तितः नियुद्धं कुशलैः सार्धं नियुद्धं is bahuyuddham using our hands and fighting, that is wrestling. What we have seen is sumo kind of wrestling where they use the hands and fight, that kind of fighting practice. Kushalaihi sardham, with professionals, with people who know the work, who are in this field. It's not that fighting with anyone. Padaghatam, Padabhyam Mardhanam. That is, first we saw Karabhyam Pedanam, using the hands and squeezing. Then we are seeing Padabhyam Mardhanam, using the foot, like in the Kerala practices, what they do as Chaviti Thirumal, that kind of practices. Yuktitaha, this is a very important word, is Yuktitaha. Matran na atikramena. Matran na atikramena. This we can discuss for 15 minutes, this word, that deep the word is, but the contextual meaning here is matran na atikramena. Don't do anything in excess. There should not be any ati yoga. It should be done in proper yoga. There should not be an ati yoga. Then comes Kashayapahrita Sneha. Kashayapahrita Snehas. I have changed my audio settings. Is this okay now? I don't think so. Screen sharing is an issue. There is something happening with my audio settings. Usually it doesn't happen. It's a very robust computer. I'm sorry, I don't know what is happening, but let us not get deviated. Let us go. And in case if the audio settings, if there is any issue happening, I'm so sorry for it, but there are some immediate backups I have. Okay, it will just, we can do something immediately about it. So let us proceed. I'm just restarting the discussion. So we have seen various things about avashya karyam sambhavya yadoktam shilayedanu. We have to do some avashya karya. That is starting, I'm just recapping it because of this interruptions. We are getting up in the morning. We are very hungry. That doesn't mean that you can go and have our food. What we have to do is we have to do all the shauchadi kramas. Okay. After the shauchadi kramas, okay, great. So everything is fine, it seems. After the shauchadi kramas, we are using madagna tailam to do abhyangam, murda tailam, vimardhanam. We are doing abhyanga regularly, murda taila applying oil on the head, and vimardhanam. Vimardhanam, as I told, we use the kara, the hands, to squeeze the body and give pressure in the body. Niyuddham, we advise, people are advised to do niyuddham using the hands and wrestling like the sumo. I'm switching over. Audible now. It's very unusual. It's a highly robust system. I'll check what is happening. Yeah. Niyuddham kushalai sardham padaghadam cha yuktitaha. So we are doing niyuddha, that is kind of malli yuddha, etc. And padaghada, doing the chavati thirumal, using the foot and giving some pressures. You see, all these are indoor. It can be understood as an indoor, indoor workouts and indoor exercises, because we cannot afford to go out and expose ourselves with a cold. We are not suggested to do it. So we have to do exercises, but we have to exert very well, but do not go out and do exercises, do some kind of indoor activities. And if you see the sequence, there is a sequence. The sequence explained here is just similar to the sequence that we have understood in Dinacharya. You will see in every Ritu, the sequence of explanation follows the sequence of Dinacharya. After explaining this, Acharyas are explaining about Snana. You see, after all this, Snana has been explained. Snana is Kashaya Apahrita Snehas Tatasnato Yadhavivihi. Kashaya Apahrita Sneha. That is, even if you see in Dinacharya, you will see after Abhyanga, Udvartana has been explained. After Abhyanga, Vyayama, in this sequence, Udvartana is explained before Snana. That Udvartana is not a treatment Udvartana. That Udvartana is mainly a small powder rubbing to remove the oil. Here Acharyas are specific about Kashaya Apahrita Sneha. To remove the Sneha, Apahrita Sneha, to remove the Sneha, use Kashaya Rasadravyas. And after removing the oil, Just 1 minute. Hello. Yes. So using Kashaya Apahritas Snehas Tatasnatho Yadavidihi. So using the Kashaya Rasadravyas, do kind of Udvartana or remove the oil and go in for a snana. Here we have to understand the importance of using different soaps. We cannot just take it for granted we are just applying soap. Even the property of the soap can have an impact. We can have that hidden information. So we have to be careful about even about our soaps and the quality of our soap, because that can have an impact, which we all know with the Brajaka Pitta and things like that. Kunkumena sadarpena pradikto garudupitaha. Kunkumena sadarpena. Kunkuma, we all know, that is kunkuma is the saffron. Sadarpena, the commentary is mentioned that it is the musk, using the musk. Pradikto garudupitaha. Pradikto is doing a pralepa of kunkuma and this thing and kasturi, and then agarudupitaha, doing dhupa with agaru. Until this, all the regimens have been explained. Then comes ahara. You see, the sequence is just similar to dinacharya. Then comes ahara. Rasan snigdhan palam pushtam gaudamacha suram suram. Rasan snigdhan. Rasa, mamsa rasa. Snigdha. Snigdha meaning, the commentary explains, rasan, mamsa rasan. Snigdhan, gridari samskritan. Using grida and other snigdha dravyas, we can do some kind of processing or what you call some seasoning with grida, etc. Palam, mamsam, pushtam, meduram, that is healthy mamsa. We can use not just rasa, we can have mamsa also, as you will see in some other ritus. For example, in Grishma Ritu, only mamsa rasa is suggested. There is no, we cannot afford to take meat properly. For this is only for meat eaters, non-vegetarians. But here, because the Agni is good, one can have even meat. As we all know, mamsa rasa is very lagu compared to mamsa. But you have a provision to eat. Hello. I get a notification whenever this happens, and I'll take just 1 or 2 seconds to correct it. And tomorrow I will be logging in from a different computer. Okay. Just for today, just bear with me. So we were talking about rasa and mamsa rasa, snigdhan. That is, we are not just taking mamsa rasa, we are doing some sneha, adding some extra sneha substance like ghee, etc. to the mamsa rasa, which makes it little more guru. Gaudam acha suram suram. Gaudam meaning it is not just guda, it is using guda we make many. Using guda we make lot of alcoholic preparations, that is like arishtas and asava kind of preparation. Sura, more like fermented alcoholic preparations is sura. Acha sura, that is not just the sura, you can use sura manda also. So you see an acceptance of alcohol meaning not just the alcohol like whiskeys and brandies, but mild suras, mild alcoholic beverages are suggested over here. But there is a provision for alcohol here, whereas in seasons like Grishma, we'll be seeing it is absolutely contradictory to have alcohol. If at all you are having, we are going to have a problem. We'll be understanding when we reach Grishma Ritu. Godhuma Pishta Mashekshu Kshirotta Vikriti Shubhaha Hridya. We have to take all Hridya Aharas. Godhuma Pishta Masha Ikshu Kshirotta Vikriti. Godhuma, we all know Godhuma, wheat, Pishtannam, all that pastries kind of a thing that we eat. There is like puff and things like that, not with maida, but with Godhuma. It can be Modaka and things like that. Masha. Yeah. Masha and Godhuma Pishta Mashekshu Kshirotta Vikriti Shubhaha. Kshirotta Vikriti. Kshira Vikritis. That is the Kshira Vikritis meaning Kshira and Ikshu Vikritis. Kshira Vikritis meaning all the items, food items that are derived from Kshira. That we can include cheese, different types of cheese, paneer, etc. It can be included in this context of Kshira Vikritis. Ikshu Vikritis, all that sweets and things like that that are made with derived from Ikshu. For example, maybe the sweets that are made with jaggery. So sweets are being promoted here, and all heavy items like cheese and paneer and different types of cheeses are promoted here, are advisable to be taken here. Shubha, it should be Hridya. Anything specific in the commentaries? I'll just see. Pishtam, Shali Pishtam, Shubha Hridya. Okay, that is it. Navamannam Vasam Tailam. Navamannam. Yesterday I was mentioning about Navamannam. This is the only season where Navamannam, not the Purana Shali, not the old rice. Navamannam has been explained. In all other seasons, we are suggested to take Purana Shali, which is Lagu, more Lagu. Navamannam is more Guru. We know it is more Guru, but it is suggested to be taken here. As we have discussed, even Pongal is a festival where Navamannam is the priority there. So, Vasam Tailam, that is Vasa Taila, all what you call Sneha Dravyas are added. Shauchakarye Sukodakam. Tilam is used. So yesterday someone was asking about this Tila Laddu, Thailam, Ikshu Vikritis. This will incorporate the Tila Laddu, that is Eldu Runda, that has been a tradition, that has been followed as a tradition in North India. So you have a provision for that too. Shauchakarye Sukhodakam, for Shuchi Karyas, all cleaning, hand wash, washing our genitals after excretion, etc. Use Sukhodakam. Specifically in the commentary, Acharya Acharya mentions this Sukhodaka is mainly for Shauchakarya. Do not take this Sukhodaka or Ushnodaka for Pana. That is being told clearly here. Because people have a tendency, it is so cold outside, I'll drink a lot of hot water. There is a specific mentioning, Madri, this 1 minute, maybe I can read it for you. Netu Tacha Shauchakarye. So Ushnodakam is for Shauchakarye. Kavoshnam, mildly Ushna, is for Mild Ushna is for Shauchakarya, and for Pana it is Sukhodaka. Sorry, for Pana it is Shitameva. Use only Shita Jala. Shita meaning not cold Jala, but normal room temperature cold Jala. Pravarajena Kausheya Praveni Kautavastritam Ushnaswabhaverlagubihi Pravrita Shayanam Bhajet. Pravara Ajina Kausheya Praveni Kautava Kaucha Vast. All these are different types of materials or our linens, that is bed sheets and blankets that are made with different items like Pravar Ajina using skin, that is like leather kind of a blanket, using woolen blanket, using hand knit woolen blanket, different types of blankets, but use a soft, thin variety that gives warmth. Use it to cover yourself and have a good night's sleep. Yuktya arka kiranan svedam padatranam cha sarvada. Yuktya arka kiranan svedam. You can have exposure, you can expose yourself to the sunlight, have mild svedana, yuktya, properly. For the word yuktya, I think commentators have given samyak yogena. In samyak yoga, one can expose oneself to sunlight during the day and have some mild sweda effect, but do not overdo. There is a precaution. Whenever such words come, we have to consider it as a precaution. Padatranam cha sarvada. Padatranam is I hope it is okay now. I assure to come up with a different solution tomorrow. This will not happen tomorrow. Just excuse me for today. Am I audible now? It's a totally new setting. Oh, that's a good suggestion, Neelkant. That's a nice suggestion. Just give me 1 minute. I'm logging in from my mobile and then I'll speak so that this problem is sorted out. My friend from Neelkant is my friend from Bangalore. So professor in Sri Sri Ayurveda College. Thank you, Neelkant. Yeah. Am I audible? Audible now? Mute Mac audio. Yes. Is it okay? Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Neelkant. This is a big relief. Wonderful. So we are proceeding without any interruption from now on. Yuktyarka Kiranan Svedam Padatranam cha Sarvada. Padatranam cha Sarvada. Using a Padukam Sarvada. Here the commentators have mentioned Padatranam Sarvada meaning Bahischaranam Bahischarana to Dinacharya Muktameva. That is using Padatrana, that is using the footwear for Bahischarana, walking outside, going out of the house. It is explained in Dinacharya itself. There is no special mentioning. Here we are specifically mentioning about Padatrana because it is suggested to use the Padukam inside our houses also. Inside our houses also, we are using the Padukam. I think this is a time where I can bring in the concept of Desha. All that we have seen here, if you try to understand the lifestyle of a person who are living in cold countries, who are living in cold countries, meaning the countries where the winter is very strong, where they have a long duration of cold season. In Western countries, especially in countries like France, Germany, or USA, the colder parts of USA, etc., you can see all this regimen being practiced by them on a day-to-day basis. Starting from Pratareva Bubukshitam, they will have early morning hunger. Their skin will be so dry, they will be applying lot of moisturizers to compensate. But our Shastra explains, use oil, use Abhyanga to do all this, which will compensate the dryness and which will compensate the Vata, etc. There are a lot of theory behind this. You see the food style, all heavy foods like cheese, lot of meat in their food, in their culture, and lot of Goduma Pishta Masha Ikshu, lot of sweet. Their food varieties, their breakfast will be lot. There will be lot of sweets in their breakfast. They will be having Goduma Pishta, the pastries and baked items. There will be in plenty. Vasam Tailam, all that is used in more. All the cheese and oily substances, vasa, the meat fat, even in their breads, they use this vasa and things like that to prepare their breads. Many times, people who have traveled in colder countries would come to know about this. Pravarajina Kausheya, all these different varieties of woolen things and things like jerkins, etc., they'll be using a lot. Padatranam cha sarvada. They will be using their footwear. People in the USA, people who know relatives in USA, they will be walking into the whole house with the same footwear. They don't remove their footwear at all. So all these practices of Hemanta Ritu are the practices of people who live in cold countries. So the understanding of Hemanta Ritu and the understanding of the cold countries, we have to make a logical a logical conglomeration to, or we have to make some connections to expand our understanding. That is, a cold country is Hemanta Ritu dominant. Similarly, each place we will be seeing a Ritu predominance. If you see Tamil Nadu and many places of Karnataka, you will see Grishma Ritu practices more. If you see Kerala, Varsha Ritu practices will be more. In Kerala, you will be seeing lot of Varsha Ritu practices like hot water, starting from hot water that is served even in the smallest restaurants, or even the practice of making chips, halwas and things like that. They are all Varsha Ritu practices. So every region or every place will have a practice which is particular to one specific Ritu. This is what I have mentioned. We will be relating this understanding to a region. So does this make sense? Did you get the logic behind it? Does it make sense? If it makes sense, please write yes in the comment box. Yes. Good. Nice to know. I hope people are with me. You're all with me with all this confusions and things with audio. I hope. Yes. Nice. Good. Thanks for the response. Vivarorus tanashronyas samada pramada priya haranti shita mushnangyo. A moment. I'm just taking the commentary. Yeah. This Vivarorus tanashronyas samada pramada priya haranti shita mushnangyo dhupa kunkuma yavvanaihi. That is, sexual activity has been promoted in this season. We need not go into the details of what is that description about a women, etc. Sexual activity and the lady anointing her body with kunkuma, etc., doing agarudupa, etc. That is a kind of explanation that we see. But the logic about the shloka is sexual activity is promoted. Angaratapa santapta garbha bhuveshma charinaha शीतपारुष्य जनितो न दोषो जातु जायते. अंगार ताप संतप्त गर्भ भूवेश्म चारिणः. Angara tapa, that is what the place where we have to spend our time, where we have to live, is being explained here. Garbhaveshma bhuveshma, that is in a room which is in the middle. The commentary explains that it is a room that is encapsulated in the house, the most encapsulated room in the house. And the second thing is that Bhuveshma, the most underground room in the house, the most underground and encapsulated room in the house, meaning an underground room where it is encapsulated with hardly any windows and doors, not doors, hardly any windows and ventilation. Without any windows and ventilation, if there is a room, stay there. And not just to stay there, Angara Tapa Santapta, having this fireplace, meaning the fireplace that we see in places like Ooty and foreign countries where the room is heated up with coal and things like that. That is a fireplace. So have a fireplace, live in a warm room which is having no ventilation, etc. You can understand the logic of room heaters that I was explaining yesterday. When acharyas are explaining this, nowadays we have simple centralized room heaters in foreign countries. In the switch of a button, they get this environment. Of course, it is not a healthy alternative. It is not a complete alternative to what is explained here, but the environment is achieved. The environment that the acharya is mentioning is achieved with the present technology. So this is an explanation about Hemanta Ritu. This Hemanta Ritu, I want you to go back and read this whole Hemanta Ritu, and you will see lot of connections. You will see like this bulb on moment. Wow, bulb on moment happening when you read Hemanta Ritu. Once you go back today and read it. Shishira Ritu. Shishira Ritu will be finished in a jiffy, because it is just ayameva vidikaryam shishirepi visheshataha. That is, acharyas are telling ayameva vidhihi, the same protocol, follow the same advices that I have told in Hemanta Ritu, in Shishira Ritu, but visheshataha. Hemadri has mentioned that Visheshataha has mentioned a specific meaning to the word Visheshataha. Atyabhyasena. Let me 1 minute. Let me take that. Yeah, Visheshataha. Atyabhyasena. That is with excess abhyasa or with special care or special concern or with special preference do the regimen of Hemanta Ritu in Shishira Ritu. That is all that I have explained in Hemanta Ritu, do it, but do it with a special care, with a special effort, to have a special effort in doing the regimen of Hemanta Ritu in Shishira Ritu. Tadahi Sheetamadikam Rauksham Chadana Kalajam. Tadahi Sheetamadikam Rauksham Chadana Kalajam. Hi tada Sheetam Adhikam. Here the Sheeta is more. At least the perception of the Sheeta is more in Shishira Ritu, because it's this is the only period. Winter is the only period or the longest period. If you see this, winter is the longest period. Rest all seasons will last only for approximately for 2 months, but winter is a period that lasts continuously for 4 months. Because of the longer exposure, you get to suffer a lot with the coldness, and moreover the Shita is also more strong in Shishira. Rauksham Chadana Kalajam. There is a Rauksham. There is a small Rukshata that is also happening. That is so characteristic of Adana Kala. In Adana Kala, the sun's predominance has started. You see the sun's image, Tikshna, Ushna, and Ruksha, because it is Adana Kala, because the sun has just taken charge, that small effect of Ruksha is also present, but it doesn't create Vata Chaya. Because of the Ruksha and the Shita, there is no Vata Chaya that is happening in this season. Okay, we will be. This is a commonest confusion that people might have when they study. They're talking about Ruksha, they're talking about Ruksha and Shita in Shishira Ritu. If there is Ruksha and Shita, there should be Vata. Why there is no Vata Chaya? Instead, there is Kapha Chaya. We all know that Kapha Chaya happens. I am taking it for granted, even with the first year students, I'm taking it for granted that you all know what is Chaya, Prakopa, and Prashama. Chaya, the mild increase. Prakopa, the increase becomes stronger. And Prashama, there is a decrease in whatever that has increased. This is a phenomenon of Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, etc. We will get to see if there is a permissible time. We will continue with that discussion also. But Kapha Chaya happens. In this image, you can see on the outer border, Kapha Chaya happens in Shishira Ritu. Though it is not directly mentioned here in Shishira Ritu, in the next Ritu, Vasanta, Acharyas have immediately Acharyas have started Vagbhata has started the explanation, explaining that in the previous Ritu, that is in Shishira, Kapha Chaya has happened. It has been very clearly explained by the Acharya in the next Ritu. I hope Shishira Ritu understanding is clear, except for the factor of Rauksham Chadana Kalajam. I think pretty much there is nothing specific that we have to understand. We have to follow the same principles of Hemanta Ritu. This Rauksham Chadana Kalajam will be clarified as we go forward. I'll see if there is something that I can bring it on now. Yes, I've mentioned, I've missed out one important, very important word in the shloka. The most important word in the shloka is the word cha. Rauksham cha adana kalajam. Hemadri has beautifully explained this word cha. That is adhikam sheetam, adana kalajam, rauksham cha. chakarat vadakopa balakshayau cha. In Shishira Ritu, there is Raukshyam cha. This cha meaning, this cha, chakarat, because of with the use of chakara, we have to understand Vadakopa and Balakshayau. Vatakopa, it is not Prakopa. It is just a simple Vatakopa. It is a transient Vatakopa, which is not even exhibiting itself as Chaya or Prakopa. It is just a transient disturbance of Vata that is happening, not just transient disturbance of Vata, but Balakshaya also. The word Cha explains Vatakopa and Balakshaya. So here what we can understand is, compared to Hemanta Ritu, in Shishira Ritu, the Bala is slightly lesser. Yesterday we had studied that in Hemanta and Shishira, the Bala is Uttama. In Sharad and Vasanta, the Bala is Madhyama. In Varsha and Grishma, the Bala is Hina. A blanket statement is, in Hemanta Shishira, Bala is Uttama. But between Hemanta and Shishira, we can understand Hemanta is the best. Shishira is slightly lesser than Hemanta in terms of Bala. When we mean Bala, it can be an understanding of immunity, or it can be an understanding of Agni Bala, it can be an understanding of Vyadik Shamatva. You name it, we all know what are all the implications or dimensions of Bala. It can be Manobala, Deha Bala, it can be different aspects, and Dhatu Bala, Dosha Bala, it can be anything. All aspects of Bala can be included. I hope all are with me. Swabhava Shaityad Raushyat cha Vatakopat Balakshayat. Swabhava Shaityad Raushyat. Why is this Vadakopa Balakshaya happening? It is happening because of Swabhava Shaityad and Raushyat. The Ruksha and Shaitya that is happening in the Swabhava. I'm sure all of you have understood why there is a Ruksha here, in spite of this being a Hemanta Ritu, where the predominant, in spite of it being a Shita Kala, where the predominance is, in Shita Kala, the predominance is Snigdha and Shita. Snigdha and Shita are the basic qualities of Shita Ritu, that is Hemanta and Shishira. In spite of that, the Rauksha is happening because of the predominance of the Adana Kala. And in a different context, in the commentary, Acharyas have also explained the reason for the Kapachaya happening in Shishira Ritu is not just because of whatever that is happening in Shishira Ritu, it is the extension of what is happening in Hemanta Ritu. That is, the prolonged exposure of coldness is a reason for Kapachaya. Not just that, the Hemanta Ritu Charya, we are expected to have Madhura Annam, Guru Annam, Navam Annam, etc. If you don't have it, you are in trouble. And if you have it, there is a small increase of, the small possibility of disturbance of Kapadosha that is happening. And this Kapadosha, which is the Kapachaya, which is happening, is because of the continuation of Hemanta Ritu, which is extended to Shishira Ritu. This will be more clear when we reach Vasanta Ritu. So Shishira is over, then we are reaching Vasanta Ritu. In Vasanta Ritu, Kapaschito hi Shishire Vasante Arkamshu Tapitaha. Hi Shishire Chitaha Kapaha Vasante Arkamshu Tapitaha Sun. That is, in Shishira, there is a Chita of Kapa, there is a small Chaya of Kapa. Vasante Arkamshu Tapitaha. When we reach Vasanta Ritu, the sun becomes more stronger. The sun's effect is perceived more. As we had explained yesterday, in Shishira, sun starts to move towards us. In Vasanta, the sun has come considerably closer to us, but it is not much closer, causing too much of heat, but it is slightly closer to us. But the effect of sun is perceived. Effect of sun is perceived in this season. Arkamshu Tapitaha. That is, Arkamshu Tapitaha. This Kapha is being, Tapta is being exposed to the heat of Arka. Hatvagnim Kurde Rogan Atastam Tvaraya Jayet. An important, just the beginning of the shloka, the Acharya is breaking this information just like that. That is, with no preparation, he is giving a shock, telling that Atvagnim Kurute Rogan Atastam Tvaraya Jayet. Atastam Tvaraya Jayet. Come, what we have to Tvaraya Jayet, what we have to immediately win over, what we have to immediately control is the Kapham, which is undergoing a prakopa in this season. How does Kapha undergo prakopa? And what is happening? Atvagnim Kurute Rogan. Because of this Kapha prakopa, because of this Vilayana and Kapha, the Agni is destroyed. You see, there is a dramatic difference happening between Shishira Ritu and Vasanta Ritu. In Shishira Ritu, the Agni is excellent. In Hemant Ritu, Shishira Ritu, Agni is excellent. But in Vasanta Ritu, Agni is dramatically destroyed because of the phenomenon of Kapha Vilayana happening. What is that Vilayana of Kapha? The Kapha that has already undergone a Chaya. There was a mild increase of Kapha that happened. That Kapha got liquefied when the sun came in. It is the concept of the ice getting melted, and we have Pravaha. We have an increase of water. When the ice gets just in the Ganges in summer, the glacier, the ice gets melted, and there is a lot of water in Ganga. Similarly, in the kapha that has been mildly increased in the previous season, Shishira, gets liquefied when the sun becomes stronger. And for further reading, you can go into Doshabedhiyam chapter, shloka 21 if you go. Shitena yukta snigdadhya kurvate sleshmanas chayam ushnena kopam tenaiva guna rukshadaya shamam. What is the reasoning? I think it's better you go into this chapter, Doshabedhiyam chapter 12, and read shloka 21. You will get more logic and more clarity. It is connected with this shloka, with this logic. And in this context, Acharyas have mentioned, that is, Hemadri has mentioned a phenomenon, a commentary for this particular topic. I'm just reading it for you. Yasmat shishire chitaha kabhe vasante surya rashmibhir dravikritaha san. The kapha that is chita in Shishira, kapha that is undergoing chaya in Shishira, Vasante, when we reach Vasanta, Surya Rashmi bihi, because of the Surya Rashmi bihi, because of the Surya Rashmi, because of the sharp rays of the sun, Dravi Kritaha gets liquefied. Jalamiva Pratyanigatvat Vahnim Hatva. Jalamiva Pratyanigatvat. Just like Jala, it flows down and it destroys the Agni. Agnim Hatva. Rogan Karoti. Rogan Karoti. Immediately create disease. This explanation clarifies the shloka beautifully. Okay? I hope people have understood what I'm explaining with the commentary. Atastam chitam akupitam kapam vasantarabhya eva tikshna dravya kritair तीक्ष्ण द्रव्य कृतैर वमन नस्य धूमगंडोषादेर शोधनैर जयेत अतस्तं त्वरया जयेत. So immediately win over this increased kapha is the advice. Atvagnim kurute rogan atastam tvaraya ataha tam tvaraya jayet. This kapha, don't let it increase. Immediately kill it off. How do we kill it off? Tikshner vamana nasyadher lagu rukshaischa bhojanaihi. What can be the technique? Do tikshna vamana, tikshna nasya, laghu ruksha bhojana. Have very light food. In the previous 2 seasons, acharyas are telling feast. Enjoy everything that you eat. You can do all types of feasting here, but when it comes here, laghu ruksha bhojana. Start fasting. See the dramatic change that we have to follow in this season. But Acharyas have mentioned, Hemadri has mentioned in the commentary that do it as samsarjana krama. Don't dramatically change. Just like samsarjana krama, do it gradually, switch over your heavy meal to a very light meal in the season. We'll be reading that also. Vyayamudvartana Gadhair Tikshnair Vamana Nasyajar. I hope you all of you have understood. We have to do Tikshna Vamana and Nasya, which will kill off the kapha, and it will not create. When we win over this kapha, when we kill off this kapha, Kurute Rogan, we will escape from the trap of diseases. If we don't do this Tikshna, Nasya, Vamana, Ruksha, Bhojana, etc., we will get tangled in a trap of disease. This is in Vasanta Ritu. You will see all patients, all our patients will be having a lot of nasal block, cold, fevers, all these problems. People will come with all kapha predominant diseases in this season. And for doctors, this is called as the season. Season is where their practice will be excellent. Why is this happening? Because we are not following our Ritucharya properly. So how can we prevent this? We have to start with Lagu, Ruksha Bhojana, we have to do Nasya, etc. just before the kapha is increasing as a preventive measure. Vyayam Udvartana Gadhe Rajit Ghadhair Jitva Sleshmana Mulbanam. Vyayama Udvartana. Here the Udvartana is proper Udvartana. Aghata. Aghata is pressure, giving like Padagata, what we have studied, using the foot, giving pressure, using the hand, giving pressure and doing Abhyanga kind of a thing, but without oil. Because we have already studied in the previous chapter that there is a contraindication for Abhyanga. Kapagrastam. Kapagrasta, in Kapagrasta, when there is a Varjo Abhyanga Kapagrasta, when there is a Kapagrasta, when there is a Kapha increase, do not do Abhyanga. In Vasanta Ritu, we should not do Abhyanga. We have to consider this when the patient is coming for treatment in Vasanta Ritu. This can also be understood. Practitioners, when a patient is coming for treatment in Vasanta Ritu, doing an Abhyanga and Snehapana, we have to rethink. This is a logic that we get here. Vyayam Udvartanagadeh Jitva Sleshmana Mulbanam. Jitva Sleshmana Mulbanam. This Ulbana Sleshma. This Ulbana Sleshma is the increased Sleshma is first taken care of by Vyayama Udvartanagadeh. This is the second layer of preventive measure. One preventive measure, we make our food, we conceptually decide how are we going to have our preventive measures like Lagu Bhojana, Ruksha Bhojana, Tikshna Nasya, etc. Next step, Vyayam Udvartanagadeh Jitva Sleshmana Mulbanam. Ulbana Sleshma is taken care of by Vyayama Udvartana Aghata. Here I would like to mention, I would like to take you to the context of Vyayama. Ardha Shaktya Nishebhyastu Balibhisnigdha Bhojibhihi. I think you remember this from Dinacharya. People will remember this shloka from Dinacharya. Ardha Shaktya Nishebhyastu Balibhisnigdha Bhojibhihi Sheetakale Vasante cha. We have been introduced about Sheetakala and Vasanta Ritu in the previous chapter itself. Sheetakala meaning Hemanta and Shishira. Vasanta is Vasanta. In Sheetakala and Vasanta, do Ardha Shaktya, do half your capacity. Don't over exert. The best amount of exercise that we can do is half the capacity. Of course, we have to consider one more factor that the texts have been written ages and ages before, where daily living incorporated lot of physical activities. There was a demand for a lot of physical activities for our daily living. There was no machineries to transport us from one place to another place and all these things like that. There were no machineries. So there were a lot of physical effort involved in daily living. In addition to that, if you are doing some exercise, do Ardha Shaktya. So in the present scenario, we can do little excessive more than Ardha Shakti. The contextually, I'm telling, I'm not contradicting the Acharyas, but present day context. This is the modification that we have to understand. And this Vasanta Ritu, Shishira Ritu, Hemanta Ritu, these are the three Ritus where Vyayama or exercise is promoted. You see, most of the Vyayama are indoors in this season. And strong, also strong in the season, having wrestling and things like that is a stronger version of Vyayama. Snato anulipta karpura chandanagaru kunkumaiti. Snato is after snana. So you see the sequence again. You do Vyayama, Udvartana, and then you undergo snana. And after snana, you apply all this paste like karpura, chandana on your body, agaru dupita, and we also do agaru dupana. Let me see if we have. Okay. I think I'll be finishing in few minutes. Today there were a lot of interruptions, so we are little lagging. I don't want to rush up. That's the intention. I want to make complete sense. Samsarjana kramena bhojanaischa. I was telling you, samsarjana kramena bhojanaischa. Don't suddenly change your food habits. Just like samsarjana krama, gradually move to a laghu bhojana from Shishira Ritu, where you are having Guru bhojana. Shishira sabdena, Chita paryayena, Shishira hemantayor grahanam. The starting line of the shloka, you see, Kapas chitohi shishire vasante arkam chukapitaha. The kappa is chita in Shishira. In this context, the word Shishira includes Hemanta and Shishira. Shishira sabdena, the word Shishira implies Hemanta and Shishira, is explained by Hemadri. Ulbane sleshmanam vyayama udvartaner jitva snatastataha. This Ulbana Shleshma is taken care by, we have explained that. Kapagraste abhyanga nishedat ruksha eva vyayamadeha. It is Hemadri mentions that kapagrasta, it is a kapagrasta kala here. Don't do abhyanga, do ruksha kriyas like udvartana, vyayama, etc. So that is also made double clear. Vyayamadin kritva eva snayan purvam na purvamiti atyartaha. Only after vyayama you go for snana. So that is all. Purana yava goduma Kshaudra Jangala Shulya book. Purana yava goduma Kshaudra. Commentators mentioned that Purana is applicable for yava, goduma and Kshaudra. So our yava and goduma, yava like, I will not tell exactly as barley, something like barley, goduma, wheat, and Kshaudra. If it is Purana, it is advisable. Jangala Shulya book. Jangala Mamsam Shulya book. Shulya, that is using the skewers, piercing the meat and cooking it like tandoori in coal. It is Shulya book. So meat is propagated, but you see the methodology of cooking the meat is cooking it like tandoori type of cooking, piercing it with a skewer and cooking in the direct coal. When we go to the further chapters, we will understand the different pakas, different types of paka, like steaming or baking in an oven or cooking with coal, etc. in chapter 5, if I am not wrong. You will see the most easiest cooking methodology is cooking in this type of direct exposure to coal, etc. So in Vasanta Ritu, the food should be laghu. Acharyas are explaining meat that is cooked like tandoori. So tandoori type of cooking gives us an understanding that it makes the food laghu. Purana yava goduma. One interesting thing that we can see here is rice is not promoted or propagated here. In the previous two seasons, we are suggested to take Navamannam. Here we are suggested don't take rice. Take Goduma, Purana Yava, Purana Kshaudra, etc. In the next season, interestingly, beautifully, we will be seeing Acharya's explanation that what is that? Kundendu Davalam Shalim, Kundendu Davalam, that is, have a shining white rice in Grishma Ritu. We'll be seeing that. It will be an enjoyable explanation, Grishma Ritu. And Sahakara Rason Mishran Aswadya Priyayarpitan, Sahakara Rasa, Sahakara, that is, commentators mentioned that it is a tasty amra, that is tasty mango. Sahakara Rason Mishran, Sahakara Rasa. Hemadri explains that it is a juice that is made up of, or juice that has been made up of this flowers and inflorescence of mango. In Vasanta Ritu, mango has not fruited, but still we have flowers. Using the flowers, use Sahakara. It is not that we are using Sahakara Rasa just like that. Sahakara Rasa, it is Mishrana, it is mixed with Nirgada Nasavarishta Sidhu Mardvika Madhavan. Asava Arishta made with Sidhu, Mardvika and Madhava, that is with sugars, jaggery, Mardvika honey, that is Mardvika grapes, Madhava honey. So with the fruits, like dry fruits, like what do you call, dry grapes, honey, etc., you make a what you call asavarishta, and you mix it with sahakara, the flowers and inflorescence of things like mango. And the next lines, Priya Netrotpalangitan, Priya Syasanga Surabin, Priya Netrotpalangitan, Saumanasya Krido Hridyan, Vayasas Sahita Pribhivet. These are all drama. As I told you, the Kavi of the Kavi hidden inside, hiding inside Vagbhata is coming out. I'm sorry, panelists, because of the interaction, let me steal 15 minutes of yours. I'm sorry, attendees also, I'm stealing 15 minutes of yours to make a kind of a good finish to this session. Priya Syasanga Surabin, Priya Netrotpalan Gidan, the Kavi inside Vagbhata is slowly coming out. We are yet to see him. He's explaining the way in which it is this Asava and Arishta is being beautifully what you call fermented, the how we are fermenting, the beauty of this fermentation, and then take in a beautiful container, give one sip to your loved person, your wife, with all the decorations and makeups. She has one sip of it. You see her eyes, you enjoy your eyes, and Netro, beautiful eyes. Okay, there was some notification. Is there any notification? No. Okay. You see her beautiful eyes. All this drama is being explained. Let us not go into it. Let us have in a pleasant way, have this Asava and Arishta, have this Priya Netro, this Sahakara Rasa. If you see our tradition in Vasanta Ritu, where we have people from Andhra Pradesh, etc., specifically people from Andhra and people from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu also, we will be having our festivals where we will prepare all our rasams from neem leaves. Rasam prepared out of leaves of mango. We will use these flowers of trees to prepare this rasam. You see that is being linked over here. Nirgadan, that is nirdoshan. This Asava and Arishta should be proper. We should not have, we should not disturb any doshas. Shringaverambu Sarambu Madhvambu Jaladambu. Shringaverambu. Use water, boiled water. The previous season, Hemadri has clearly mentioned, Shita Jalam is Paryaptam. Shita Jalam is enough. But in Vasanta Ritu, Shringaverambu, water boiled with Shringavera, with ginger. Sarambu, Asanadigana. Madhvambu, water mixed with, here it is not heating because we know it is a Viruddha. Madhvambu, commentators also mentioned, water mixed with honey. Many a times what people do is we take this and do it for weight loss therapy, Madhvambu. Here, why are we doing it? To reduce kapha. Okay, the logic is correct. But what will people do is mix it with hot water and give it as an exercise to reduce water. It is a viruddha. People will not lose weight. Rather, they will have Agni Nasha and they might increase their weight. Jaladambu, it is musta. So use different substances to boil the water or even mix it with water. So here what I would like to emphasize here is in Vasanta Ridhucharya, all that we have seen is having a connection with what is available in nature. Availability in nature has a very important role to play. In Hemanta and Shishira Ritu, all that we have that we are suggested to take is available in that particular season. The heavy food is available in Shishira Ritu and Hemanta Ritu. For example, our underground tubers like potato is available in Hemanta Shishira Ritu. And when we go to more colder countries, even that potato is not available, the nature will direct you to eat meat, have more heavy. So the nature will beautifully direct us to eat what is available in nature. So what is required for us is readily made available in the nature, and that is the synergy of Ritucharya. That is the beauty of Ritucharya. On the same lines, I would like to explain that in Vasanta Ritu, and we don't have fruits yet. Fruits are going to be harvested in Grishma Ritu, but these fruits are available as flowers, different varieties of flowers. When there are flowers available in abundance, there is an abundance of honey. Though we are not suggested to take honey fresh, but availability of abundant honey directs us to take honey. Non-availability of fruits suggests us don't take Madhura Rasa too much. Non-availability of lot of nature's produces restricts us to eat more. So the availability and non-availability teaches more. This is going to be my conclusion. Acharya sarva cheshtasu loka eva hi dhimata. Let us discuss later. And the Kavi hiding inside Vagbata is coming out. How is this Vasanta Ritu? I am going to finish with this explanation. And how is this Vasanta Ritu? How do we perceive Vasanta Ritu? How do we experience or how do we enjoy? Not, I don't get a proper word. What is our, what do we see in Vasanta Ritu? When we go outside our houses, how do we perceive this Vasanta Ritu? This is the Ritu Swarupa. As we have discussed on day one, don't just be obsessed with the month. Understand the Swarupa of the Ritu. So what is the Swarupa of Vasanta Ritu? Dakshinanila Shiteshu Parito Jalavahishu Adrishtanasta Shuryeshu Manikutti Makantishu Parapushta Vigushteshu Kama Karmanta Bhumishu Vichitra Pushpa Vriksheshu Kananeshu Sugantishu. Is it not like a poem? I am reading it again. Dakshinanila Shiteshu Parito Jalavahishu Adrishtanasta Suryeshu Manikutti Makantishu Parapushta Vigushteshu Kamakarmanta Bhumishu Vichitra Pushpa Vriksheshu Kananeshu Sugandhishu. He is going on explaining the beauty of Vasanta Ritu. Goshti Kadabis Chitrabir Madhyanam Gamayetsuki Gurushita Divaswapna Snigdhamla Madurans Tyajet. So with this, Vasanta Ritu is over. I'm just going into the details. Dakshinanila Shiteshu. Dakshinanila. People from Tamil Nadu, do you know what is Dakshinanila? Can you write? People from Karnataka or any other states, can you just mention, do you have any specific word for Dakshinanila, the wind from the south? Do you have any specific word for wind from the south? Because we have a beautiful word for wind from the south in Tamil. And a love song cannot be complete. A movie love song cannot be complete without using this word and comparing the women with this word. Anyone from Tamil Nadu, come up with this. Bring it on. What is the word for the southern wind? Are you all tired and exhausted? Anyone? No? Tenmerku Parvakatru. No, Tenmerku is Tendral. Beautiful. Tendral. Tendral is a wind that is coming from the south.
there is a pleasantness associated with this. Tendral vandu ennai thodum, tendral vandu teendum bodu enna vannamo. You take any Tamil song where there is a softness being projected about the love, etc. Tendrale tendrale mella nee veesu. So all this softness, pleasantness is associated with Dakshinanila, tendral. So you enjoy the softness of the tendral, southern wind. Parito Jalavahishu, there are a lot of water bodies around us during the season, which means that in Varsha Ritu, whatever rains that has been collected is still available in the water bodies. Water management of our water management is now totally a disaster. So we don't have we don't see water in the ponds, Tadagam, Kupas, etc. by Vasanta Ritu, by in this particular Kali Yuga. But you see, water bodies are still active in Vasanta Ritu. This is an important point, an ecological point that we will have to notice. Adrishta nashta suryesh nashta suryeshu manikutti makantishu. Adrishta nashta. Adrishta meaning you don't see it properly. Surya is not seen properly. It is hiding inside the clouds. The sun is hiding inside the clouds. But when it falls on the earth, it's like Mani Kutti Makantishu. Hemadri mentions that Mani Kutti as like rare and precious gems like diamonds and precious stones. The whole Bhumi is looking like it is wearing some precious stones like diamonds, etc. When the slight sun rays fall on the earth, it explains. You try to visualize the beauty, how the earth will look when a slight sun rays is falling on it after a cold and pleasant Hemanta Shishira Ritu. It will be like Acharyas are explaining a beauty of this season. Parapushta Vigushteshu Kama Karmanta Bhumishu. Parapushta is Kokila. Vigushteshu Krita Sabdeshu. That is the sounds made by cuckoos. Kokila. It's like so pleasant. It's all about pleasantness. Kama Karmanta Bhumishu. The whole world is like looking like a place where it is ready for Kama Karma, to all our adults here, just like our film first night Shanti Muhurta room decoration. It is beautifully decorated with flowers and things like that. The whole Bhumi is naturally decorated. It is an apt place for Kama Karma. It's looked as though it is a beautiful place decorated for Kama Karma. Vichitra Pushpa Vriksheshu Kananeshu Sugandhishu. Vichitra Pushpa, there are a lot of different colors of flowers available in the forests. Kananeshu is Upavaneshu, Sugandhishu. That is vana, not the regular dense forest, but upavanas, where you have mild parks and things like that. Goshti Kadabis Chitrabihi Madhyanam Gamayet Sukim. Spend the afternoons with Goshti Katha, that is having some Goshti Krida, having some group activities, having some that is people joining together, discussing some stories and talking some enjoyable pleasantry, exchanging pleasantries between them. Madhyanam Gamayet Sukim. The Madhyana, spend the afternoons in such pleasant environment. Guru Shita Divaswapna Snigdhamla Maduram Styaje. Then what are all the things that we have to avoid? Guru Shita. Avoid Guru Shita Ahara. Never have Guru and Shita Ahara, which we have understood. Nature is not giving any Guru Ahara, by the way. It is giving Kapahara Ahara, like flowers and honey, etc. Divaswapna. Never ever do Divaswapna, because we know Divaswapna is increasing Kapha. Whereas in Grishma Ritu, Acharyas are explaining do Divaswapna, which we will discuss later. Snigdhamla Maduram Styajet. Avoid Snigdha Ahara. Initially we discussed. Amla Madura Ahara also avoid. Amla Madura Ahara are available in this season. Like Amla, don't be in a hurry to harvest the fruits. because ama phala is not recommended. Ayurveda does not recommend ama phala. Don't be in a hurry to take this ama phala, which is not a recommendation of Ayurveda, and consume it. Madurahara, of course, exceptions of the Madura in honey is, of course, it is not just Madura, it has Uparasas also. That is also prohibited. Don't do all this. So what are we taking? What are we not taking? How are we spending our day? How is the nature looking? Is all beautifully explained in Vasanta Ritu. I am not going further. I think I have already taken some excessive time. So I'm stopping here. So Grishma Varsha Sharad is what do you call, assigned for the tomorrow's discussion, and tomorrow's discussion is going to happen without any interruption because of our new technique of having a dual audio. So the panelists can come, and if there are any questions, if people are patient enough for questions, I am available, or we can sum up the session. Are there any questions, or shall we sum up? Panelists? Yes, I think I have given an answer for this also. In the commentaries, there was a question why Vata does not get Chaya in Shishira. Vata doesn't get Chaya in Shishira because the nature of Hemanta and Shishira is Snigdha and Shita. Snigdha Shita. When there is Snigdhatvam, there cannot be a possibility of Vata to get Chaya because it requires Rukshatvam. Though there is a transient Ruksha, commentators have clearly mentioned that this transient Ruksha is not disturbing the Snigdhatvam. Hemadri is explaining that transient Snigdhatvam is not, the transient Rukshatvam is not disturbed by the transient Ruksha of Shishira. That has been clearly explained by Hemadri. So that's why Chaya is not happening in this season. And we also take Snigdha Bhojanam. The Snigdha Bhojana in this season is also an additional factor to prevent this Chaya. So if you are not having this, there is a possibility of Chaya of Vata to happen. And for only for practitioners and people who are into final year, could you please unmute? I have a question to ask. Who has to unmute? Oh, you have to unmute. Okay. Practitioners, you can understand that in cold season, people who are having previous rheumatological issues, may it be degenerative rheumatological issues, or even it may be inflammatory rheumatological issues. Many a times people come up with some aggravation in cold season. They tell all my pains gets aggravated in cold season. Immediately we can understand that they have not followed the Charya of Hemanta Shishira Ritu properly. So immediately we have to focus on Hemanta Shishira Ritu Charya instead of giving some oils. Of course, oil is a Hemanta Shishira Ritu Charya, but there are a lot of other things that we have to consider when people come up with a flared up pain or a flared up Vata issues in Hemanta Shishira Ritu. It should not happen. If someone is coming with a Kapha Chaya issue, if someone is telling my slight increase in the swelling, etc., yes, okay, it is still acceptable. But if someone is coming with a Vata issue, we have to be focused. So this is a take-home information for practitioners. So how shall we go about? Someone has asked to unmute. Mr. Dr. Jinesh has a question, it seems. He's requesting to unmute. Can the panelists unmute Jinesh, or Jinesh can write in the comment section also?
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, please.
सर
Yes, Jinesh.
अभी का जैसे माहौल है, मतलब अभी के मौसम में ऐसा चल रहा है कि 4 महीने बारिश होती है.
I am sorry, I don't follow Hindi
General-
properly. I can speak and explain in Sanskrit, but not in Hindi.
Oh, okay. So now in today's time, there are
Yeah.
4 months rain. Rain
Yes.
continues 4 months.
Okay.
So in Charaka, there is a description of Pravritta Rutu instead of
Okay.
And now also generally we see that winter season is more or less just for 2 months and somewhat more extended, but not for 4 months. So should
Okay.
we include Pravritta instead of Shishira? Charak has mentioned that Rutu for Sanshodhan, but in today's generation now we see that there are 4 months of rainy season and winter season is just shortened. So
Okay.
what is your opinion about that?
Yes. So there are a lot of answers and dimensions to this question. One, Pravrita. Pravrita has been explained by Vagbhata also. Pravrita Shayanam Bhaje. There are a lot of explanations about Pravrita. Hemadri also talks about Pravrita. But we need not confuse the context of Pravrita here. Reason is that these ritus are not airtight compartments. They are not vacuum tight compartments. There will be an overlap. As I was explaining yesterday, the kind of flow in ritu that we have perceived when we were young is not the same now. The ritus have messed up because of global warming and many other scenarios. And the ritu, it is not that in rainy season all days will rain, is not the understanding. In Grishma every day will be hot, is not the understanding. There is in Tamil we have something called Kodai Malai, Kodai Kanal. You would have heard about a place called Kodai Kanal. It is a Tamil word. In Kodai there can be a possibility of a rain. In Grishma there can be rains. In Vasanta there can be rains. In Vasanta we can experience the effect of Grishma also. In Vasanta there can be Varsha. In Hemanta Shishira there can be rains, which is contributing for more coldness. So there can be a overlap of phenomenons, but there cannot be overlap of seasons nowadays, because in this Kali Yuga the overlap of seasons are also happening. But what we have to understand with Ritucharya is the trend in the cycle. As I told you, it is possible for me to explain Ritucharya in various continents. I've explained Ritucharya in various continents. I've taught in USA in different climatic conditions of USA, France. I've explained for Japanese with Japanese thing. I've explained to Germans. It fits in the logic. What we have to follow is seasons. What we have to understand is the sequence of seasons. That it is cold, the cold gets stronger, then sun gets little stronger, then the sun becomes much more stronger, then rains or temporary coldness, then a sudden increase in the heat. This is a sequence, and this sequence can be clubbed. Many a times, I think it is in Mangalore. People in Karnataka can correct me if I'm wrong. Is it in Mangalore? People will tell there are 2 seasons or 3 seasons. Hot, hotter, hottest. Is that correct? Is that Mangalore? People in Karnataka will tell that. There is only one particular season in Karnataka. There are many a times we have places like that where one Ritu is strong. If one Ritu is strong, we will see naturally the tradition of that region will be to follow some specific Ritu in predominance. For example, as I told you, in regions like Tamil Nadu, dry regions of Tamil Nadu, Grishma Ritu will be an important practice throughout the year. Did that make sense? And I will make it much more clearer when we finish all the seasons, because this is a conclusion that I can give when I finish all the season.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, did this make sense, Mr. Jinesh, Dr. Jinesh?
Yes, yes, sir. It did make sense.
So I am open for questions or even for conclusion. The panelists and admins can take a call. Even in Kerala, there is no winter. Dr. Shweta. No, there will be winter. Maybe it is mixed up, or it is so quick. In England, they will be telling, in England, there is a common saying. They will tell that we will miss our summer if some miss with the come and we will miss our summer with a blink of our eyes is something that people in the UK usually tell. So it just comes and goes, but the trend will not be disturbed. Dr. Shweta, yes, okay, she has confirmed that. In Kerala, Varsha Ritu's effect will have an influence on the summer. Question and answer can continue. If needed, participants will be unmuted if they raise their hands or write in the comment section. Question and answers can continue as the suggestion from the panelists. If I have to make any other points particularly clear, I am ready to do that too. Any area which was gray, which people cannot understand. I think that is it. I don't see any other questions. Maybe we'll wait one more minute. Yeah, there's one question. So there was a question. I'll read the question first for you. Nowadays, the seasons are mixed up, and so the aharas are to be taken. This is the whole intention of having this session, because every one of us are confused because of the seasonal changes happening. This is going to be the conclusion remark. Once we have understood the concepts correctly, we can tweak our daily practices. Am I audible? Yes, okay. Once you have understood the concept of Ritucharya properly, irrespective of the messing up or the mix-ups that is happening in the season, we can tweak our lifestyle, we can tweak our practices. And I've reserved this I made a note and I've reserved this for the conclusion session. Ritucharya is the pivot for Ayurveda practice. If a person has not understood Ritucharya properly, your private practice or your practice, whatever practice you do, will not be successful, because Ayurveda is all about customizations. We customize a lot of things according to the condition, according to the nature of the patient, according to the availability. Your knowledge of customizations will be complete only if we understand Ritucharya, because Ritucharya is all about customizations. We are going to enjoy that We are going to enjoy and relish the customizations that we get to know or get to understand from Ritucharya. And nowadays, Dinacharya has been given a lot of what you call a lot of limelight. People tell Dinacharya, Dinacharya, Dinacharya. If you have not understood Ritucharya properly, your understanding of Ritucharya is half-baked, incomplete. Maybe the statement is strong, but that is the truth. You cannot customize the Dinacharya if you don't understand Ritucharya properly. I can tell you one simple example, Snanam. Snanam. What is that Snanam that is explained in Dinacharya? Ushnambhunadakayasya parisheko balavaha. But when you see in Ritucharya, Acharyas are explaining a different type of a snana in Grishma Ritu. One can tell one has to drink hot water every day. No, you cannot tell that. One has to drink cold water every day. No, you cannot tell that. So how are you going to customize the advices for the patient? It is purely on Dinacharya. So mix up of seasons. Yes, we cannot go and change. We cannot block the, we cannot fix up the black hole and we cannot change the season. But what we can do is our understanding about Ritucharya can be perfect, picture perfect. Then irrespective of the change that is happening around us in terms of seasons, we can tweak, we can get it better. So how are we going to do it? Maybe I can give you guidelines. For example, I can take one example. If this mix-up has happened, what should we do? How are we handling this? But I can do this only after I give you a bigger picture about Ritucharya. Still, I have not given you a bigger picture. And I think I take an anticipatory bail here that tomorrow I need little extra time. Panelists and organizers, I need at least 2 hours. And I want the students also to be prepared because it's not that easy to listen 2 hours straight. If you want a break in between, that can also be planned. Or we can take a feedback. If you want to extend a session by another day, I'm ready for that too. Maybe a feedback can be a quick feedback can be taken today, and we can be for both. Why sleeping late in the night? Why sleeping at late night is not allowed in Shishira Ritu? Sleeping late in the night is not allowed in any Ritu. Because Kali Yama, you know what is Kali Yama? Between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. it is Kali Yama. Kali Yama, just as the name suggests, Kali will, in that Yama, we should be sleeping as though Kali has cut off our head. We should be sleeping unconsciously, we should be sleeping. If you are not sleeping at the Kali Yama between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., your Dinacharya has been screwed up. You will not get the energy gain that one has to get. So no Ritu, no Charya will suggest a person to be awake after 10 p.m. Again, 10 p.m. is not specifically 10 p.m. There is a mild plus or minus here and there, depending upon the Adana or the Visarga or Uttarayana or Dakshinayana. Maybe this person whose name is mentioned as admin can refine the question. Sleeping at late in the night is not allowed in Shishira Ritu. They can refine the question, but I've given a basic answer to it. And these 2 check boxes on the left and right, it is just to make this reading simple. This Grishma Ritu and Varsha Ritu simple, because you have to turn your heads to read this. That has been corrected, and thanks to Dr. Neelkant for this help. I think, yes, I don't see any more questions. And finally, again, apologies for all the interruptions that has happened. Yes, now the panelists
Yeah,
can take
if
a call.
not any question, then we can wind up the session for today.
Thank you, sir. That marks the end of the scientific section for today. I request Devi Krishna Madam to end the section with a prayer song.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Thank you, ma'am.
No, computer problem.